thanks you for coming out for our press conference for the Oak Cliff Super Bowl, which is this weekend between the Carter Cowboys and Kimball Knights. And so I want to first acknowledge everyone that's here today for this event. I saw my colleague, Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Eric Wilson. There he is. I want to acknowledge him. And then Councilman was here. I want to acknowledge him as well. And anybody else from city staff who's present, I want to acknowledge our city staff. All right. So we're representing the alma mater. And then next, what I want to do is I want to recognize the alumni. If we have anybody alumni from Carter High School. All right. And then Kimball High School. All right, very good. Now, many people wondering, why are we doing this? One, because these two institutions are historically important to the Oak Cliff community. We've had many, not only just professional athletes, but we've had a number of professionals who have graduated from both of these schools and are making a tremendous difference. Since day one of my goals as a city councilman who represents an area that each of these schools feed into is we want to restore the pride of Oak Cliff. We want those individuals who grew up in the neighborhood to reconnect with the neighborhood and hopefully move back to the neighborhood as we have some exciting things that are going on in the city. So we have a short agenda, and I want to just welcome everyone out. At this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the principal of Carter High School to come up and just make some remarks.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Fred Davis III. I'm the proud principal of David W. Carter High School, and I'm exceedingly proud and pleased and grateful to Casey Thomas. Been knowing him for a long time before he got down into the big dogs. But he's a fine young man. I'm so happy to have him be a part of this and to help us, let us come up here and be a part of this great occasion. We look forward to this rivalry over the years, and you'll know more about it as you go along. But it is a great rivalry, a friendly rivalry, but it is tough on that field. And so, but we are so proud and pleased also to represent Coach James Jones too in that particular situation where he has been such a great asset to this community and the school district over the years. When we lost him, we lost a great trooper. So we're very proud to represent that. But I am thankful for all the people, all the alumni, all the people who represent both schools to be here. We look forward to getting a chance to see you at the game, and we hope and pray that this effort today will also be something that we can carry on through the years as well. It is a great friendship, a great relationship, but two great programs and two great schools. And I'm grateful to God that He's allowed me to be a part of this, and I look forward to getting a chance to meet and see each one of you. At this time, I would like to bring up our head football coach, and please welcome him, other than Coach Patrick Williams. Thank you.
Good evening. It is truly a blessing to be a part of this conference this morning. I'm very familiar with the Oak Cliff area. I attended Umferly Elementary School, D.A. Hussey Middle School, and Carter High School. So I'm a very proud Carter Cowboy and a member of Oak Cliff, Texas.
Yeah. Very good. Somebody I want to make sure that I give special recognition to is the Honorable C.W. Whitaker. He's always behind the scenes, but we want to acknowledge him with Dallas County School Board. He made it possible for us to have the transportation today. And free of charge.
Don't tell everybody.
We didn't have to spend one dime to make sure that the students and faculty and staff of both schools were picked up. So CW, I really appreciate that.
Anytime,
You're
brother.
a resident, if I'm not correct, of District what?
Yes, sir. Your district.
3.
Yes, sir. Let's get it right. District 3.
So at this time, we're going to bring up principal of Kimball High School.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Councilman Thomas, appreciate the invite and your insight on what's going on with traditions. This is about traditions, and when you stop to think about it, you think about what really builds tradition. It really falls in lives of people and what has gone on with people over the years. You resort back to the people. That's why I think we see the alumni from both sides here sitting out and kind of taking lead and taking charge, because the young people, those drum lines are standing poised and ready, but they have to have some type of background. They have to understand where traditions come from, and so they know where they're headed, and they know where they're going, and they know what the groundwork that's been laid for these particular two institutions. You know, every time we think about, I have a lot of respect for Fred Davis as an individual, but also for the Carter Cowboys. I haven't been in Oak Cliff as long as some of you all, but I do understand the rivalry between Carter and Kimball. And I used to follow that through the papers. I used to follow that on TV. We would always look to see what was going on with Carter and Kimball, because those were the two schools that you always had to compete with. And you look at those scores, and you leave your game sometimes to try to get over to the Carter-Kimball game and kind of see what's going on with Carter and Kimball. And it's those types of traditions that kind of keep us going. And Fred and I had competitions with the academic side as well. When I look at my test scores, I also look at Carter's test scores, because we're a family in Oak Cliff. And we have to kind of look after each other. We call each other a lot about the various things, because sometimes it's us looking after what has to go on with Carter and Kimball and that community. And we understand that as principals and what that means. So the alumni support and the type of support, I understand that our alumni had one of the largest turnouts at the picnics this past weekend ever for Kimball. And I'm looking forward to that type of support, because it takes that village. You understand it takes that village to be able to do the things that we have to do. But we're very proud of our Kimball Knights, our drumline, our night train, all of the support that we have, and the types of accomplishments that we've made over the years. We're an academically sound institution, proud of that. We have recognized academies. We have state champions, of course, and we continue to want to push that envelope forward. Carter is always going to be a challenge. We can compete with them on a level playing field, and I'm going to feel proud about any time that we can beat the Carter Cowboys. I know what their program's all about, and I know what that tradition is at Carter as well. So we look forward to it. Thank you. I'm proud to introduce our brand new lead athletic director at Kimball High School. He is a Kimball alum. Yeah. We understand the importance of reaching back, but not only because he's an alumnus, but his skill level, his poise, his professionalism, and most importantly, his connection with young people and young men is one of the main reasons we selected this young man as our head football coach and athletic director here at Kimball. It's his first year this year. We're looking forward to an outstanding job. He'll be able to keep his job if he can beat Carter this week. And then he won't have to worry about the rest of the year. If he loses Carter, then we have to go back to the table and start talking again. But
Fresh is old.
To welcome you and welcome to the Kimball family and the Kimball Nation, Mr. Henry Cofer.
It's an exciting time, as always, because it's Texas football, but also because of the rivalry. And those things I look forward to. As I look out in the audience that's here today, I think we can take Carter right now. I think we got more numbers. I still remember all the plays, baby. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Of course, when you look at the things that each program has gone through, the ups and downs, and trials and tribulations, it's always a blessing to see us here before you and see if we carry on this tradition that we'll see coming up this weekend. So I'm excited. I text Coach Williams. We've been knowing each other for a long, long time. And I texted him a couple of weeks ago, and I was asking him some questions about the district being new as far as a coach is concerned, and he replied back, "Who is this?" So I knew where I was at. He's not acknowledging me anymore, but he's a good man. You know, he's going to do a good job of having his team prepared. We'll do the same as well. And again, we're excited about the opportunity. And it's not about wins and losses that came for me this year or our program or our coaching staff. It's about establishing other aspects of life. And that's what's more or less what this program is kind of founded upon, and I'm excited about that. Thank you.
All right, thank you both. I see another one of my colleagues, Councilwoman Carol Arnold, is here. She represents District 4. And so I know everybody's not here to see them or to see me. They're here to hear these guys back here and young ladies back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have Carter go ahead and go first, the drum line. So we're going to see what you got. This is just a little taste of what you're going to get on Saturday. All right?
What I want to do at this time is I want to acknowledge, even though she wasn't able to be here, Trustee George Foreman. She was invited. And she was able
wanted to be here, but she had a previous engagement, was not able to be here, and so she gives both teams, because they're both in her district, their support. At this time, alumni is critical to making sure that our school is successful. So I have a member of the alumni of each of the schools. So this time, I'm gonna have Mr. Poole, Stephen Poole, and you live where? In which district you live in? District 3. Stephen Poole, District 3.
Well, first of all, I'm honored, very honored. I'm excited. I love to see when these kids can compete against one another. And like Mr. Jones said, it's all about tradition. I love the fact that the alumni are also the head coaches. Coach Williams and this young man right here played against each other in high school. One graduated in 91, one graduated in 92, correct? Mr. Cofer was an excellent quarterback, but Coach Williams was an excellent running back. And in 91, if I'm not mistaken, we won. Well, 90. In 91, y'all won, right? So the rivalry has always been there. But what we also look at is the academic rivalry as well. So this is also an opportunity for those who live outside of Dallas now to come back home and see what these schools have to offer. Joyce Foreman, who's not here, is working diligently to move things in those schools that haven't been seen in these schools in a long time. Like Mr. Jones said, they have an engineering program. We're working on great pathways at Carter High School so that we can educate our kids to move beyond high school into college and into career-ready situations. So that's the biggest picture that we're really looking at. We want them to have fun, but we want them to be focused on what their futures will be about. And that's the tradition of these schools.
Good word.
We're going to have Mr. Mike Phillips to come up, who's over the Kimball Booster Club.
Let's give Casey another hand for this. To Principal Jones, Principal Davis, Coach Henry Cofer, and Coach Pac-Man, and to the Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Wilson, to all other elected officials in the room. I'm excited not about the game, but I'm excited about the opportunity to teach kids about life. If one thing I learned from beating Carter in 1991 is that if you always gave the best that you had, that eventually, after being whooped on my freshman year, I give credit what credit is due. Getting beat our sophomore year. Getting beat our junior year. But no one talks about those years. It only counts your senior year. Here I am, 42 years old now, and we still talk about the great rivalry of Carter and Kimball. But one thing I like to teach the kids when I go back and I give back constantly is that it's not a game, it's real issues out there. And if we are not teaching our kids how to be persistent and have a spirit of tenacity, then they lose the game of life. It's too serious, it's too big of an issue in our community to make it about a football game. And so I want to be able to tell our kids, when you come out of off this field Saturday, remember, these are your colleagues, these are your friends, these are your neighborhood buddies that you're going to have to live with after this game. And so we can get the point across that it's about spiritual tenacity, physical stability, financial fortitude, and mental capacity. They win in life. And thank you all for having me here today, Casey. Mr. Thomas, I call him Casey as a dear friend. But I'm glad about this opportunity we have today to reach back to our kids and interject that we love you guys. And that's why we're giving back to both schools, not just Kimball alum, but I'm giving back to Carter too. And that's how we work. So let's rock Saturday, baby. Let's do this.
All right. Now, I don't know if we have any reporters. I see we have cameras here. We appreciate those news stations that are here to cover this positive event about Southern Dallas. Amen. So we have any reporters here. We'll entertain any questions this time.
You have a prediction?
May the best team win.
Who won?
You know what? I think this was a good. I think it was a good. It was a tie. Hopefully that'll motivate them on Saturday to bring forth the best they have to offer. I'm pretty good at this. You're going to come better than that. Okay. If not, what I want to do is I want to announce the kickoff. This weekend, we will be hosting an alumni reception for Carter and Kimball alumni. It'll be this Friday at 7 o'clock at Delta Charlie's restaurant, which is located, of course, in District 3. But what we want to do is we want to bring both together. We had it last year at Coach's Corner, had a good time, but I think we now have an opportunity to really get the word out and make sure that both alumni are represented, and it's a very nice restaurant somewhere. We have a patio. It's going to be well lit. Everything is going to be very, very nice. I was over to talk with the manager just the other day. So tell your classmates to come on out. Let's celebrate, have a good time, and then of course I'll be at the tailgate. I had a chance to go last year to the tailgate. Man, I tell you, I became a adopted honorary. Mr. Bruce Kimball was back here, and one of the best cooks and best tailgate leaders. I became an honorary knight, I think, that day. So, let's come out, everybody have a good time, and I want to thank you. And if we need to take any pictures, I'll be around. And so I want to thank you for being here, and go Knights and go Cowboys.